Welcome back to LA Fishguys, part 5 of Always a Second Chance for Success. We're in the process of resurrecting and condensing our 2 jellyfish breeding systems. Over the last couple of parts, we've been drilling out the holes in the top of some pre-existing Ephyra tanks. We've drilled those out to accept new, more effective or efficient spray bars in those tanks. We've also got a batch of Ephyra that has just strobulated as well. So we're under kind of a time restraint or a time gun here. And we're in the process of trying to replace not only the spray bar, but the newer, larger diameter tubing that runs down to those spray bars. This being kind of a polyethylene tubing, we're going to take a coffee cup with boiling water and immerse the end of the tube in that boiling water, which makes it soft and pliable. That way it fits over the top of the hose barbs much easier. But we seem to have made a slight miscalculation. I'm trying to slip the hose over a hose barb and trying to slip the hose barb, which is attached to the end of the spray bar, through the newly drilled out hole in the top of the Ephyra tank. That doesn't really work real easy, especially when the tubing is having a hard time getting through the new hole that I drilled. And then by the time I get the tubing forced through the new hole, the tubing's cooled down, so I can't slide the hose barb from under the water up into the end of the hose. Keep in mind, and also you may not be able to see them, but that is a tank full of small Ephyra. And without that diffused flow from the spray bar, all of those free-swimming Ephyras will soon settle at the bottom of their Ephyra tank. After stepping back for a moment and thinking about the situation, the answer becomes obvious. Let's go ahead and attach the spray bar with the barbed elbow to the tubing first. We'll then pull the whole assembly through the top of the tank from the underside as though we were threading a needle. Now that we've got the new larger diameter spray bar and tubing threaded through the new hole in the top of the Ephyra tank, it's time to connect the opposing end of the tubing to the manifold up at the top. With that end of the tubing now securely attached, we've run into one other little miscalculation, and that is the spray bar itself, or more specifically, how level it is or how stable it remains in a level position. It looks like the solution's going to be quite simple. We'll use a little cable tie that we can loop around the spray bar, and the pigtail will then come up through the opposing hole on the other side of the Ephyra tank's top. And there we can use a little piece of tubing to wedge it in there so it becomes an arm to help support the opposing or free end of the spray bar. And with the new support in place, we'll go ahead and turn on the water flow and see how well it works out for us. It looks as though that solved the stability issue, and only over time through adjusting the flow will help us determine how exactly the Ephyra respond to the rotation in the tank. If you recall, previously we had set off to the side the 5-gallon bucket of the water we had siphoned from the bottom of the large holding reservoir. We're now going to use a flashlight, a pair of glasses, and a turkey baster and go through and siphon out or suck out the free-swimming Ephyra, because most of the other debris has now settled at the bottom of the 5-gallon bucket.
Hi there, my name's Jim Stime. I'm with MyFishTank.com. I'd like to take a few moments and show to you the advantages of an acrylic, clear-for-life aquarium.
More specifically, the Uniquarium, which starts off as an acrylic aquarium, only we build the wet-dry trickle filter into the backside of the tank. That's right, 4 inches of the tank is now taken over by the filter system. Water from the aquarium spills through those slits into the pre-filter section in the back side of the tank. Water rises up and spills across the diffuser or drip plate, raining down over the plastic biomedia. Water moves over towards the water pump and in turn is discharged back into the aquarium with some flexible discharge nozzles. The backside of this tank is done clear so you can see the filter compartment, but your choices will be black, light blue, or dark blue. The advantage of the Uniquarium is the filters built into the tank, meaning there is no external equipment that needs to be added. Reef Hobbyist magazine believes that our hobby, our fellow hobbyists, and the animals in our care are best served by the free distribution of quality information. Reef Hobbyist magazine provides hobbyists with critical husbandry information with an emphasis on marine ornamental breeding efforts. Reef Hobbyist magazine is available for free in local fish stores across the country, or you can subscribe at www.reefhobbyistmagazine.com. Add a new and exciting feature to your Jellyquarium display. LED color-changing mood lighting. Developed using energy-saving LED ribbon technology, this lighting upgrade includes a handheld remote control that has 3 settings, 7 individual mood colors, a slowly rotating rainbow of colors, and a fast-beat discotheque effect. So it's now been about 3 weeks since the Ephira strobulated or budded off the polyp, and we made those various modifications of the tank that we're keeping them in. We've still got most of them. I've seen no significant issues or problems. We're still holding the temperature at 55 degrees, and there's 2 reasons for that. One, obviously at a warmer temperature, the metabolism of things is greater, things happen faster, and that possibly could have been one of my problems before, in combination with overfeeding and under cleaning. But I decided to hold at 55 degrees just to see what would happen. The second reason is I have a bunch of polyps down here in the holding tank that if I raise the temperature, they will strobolate, and I really don't want to release their Ephira down into that holding tank. The only real reality is, I guess, if I was to gently scrape them out of there and move them into one of the other polyp tanks or something. I've never done that before, so I don't know if these polyps are too far along to do so, but let me show you what they look like. This being the holding tank that sits down below the Ephira tanks, holds about 100 gallons. You can see here there's a number of polyps that have collected right here and are fat and happy with brine shrimp. There's another patch of polyps over here, and then I think if we can look down inside here, there's another patch of them down along the inside wall here, and it wouldn't surprise me if there's a number of them there along the bottom as well. I know there are some on that far edge over there. Now, here's the reality of those who are interested in keeping jellyfish. They want to reproduce. They will reproduce, and their offspring will settle usually in the form of polyps down in the low flow areas. And so not only are you having to make a decision whether you decide you want to be or not want to be involved in the breeding part of it. If you don't, you're going to be scraping these out or bleaching the system. If you do, you'll be scraping these out to move them to another spot that you can utilize them. And when I say utilize them, meaning to move them into a tank that you could collect easily their offspring, this being a polyp tank here, although I think more appropriately the polyp Ephira combo tanks might be the better choice, but that's a whole nother promotional product down the road. The point is that you will have Ephira eventually budding off of those polyps. And I'm not sure how well the camera's picking up things here, but there's 2 tanks, and over here there's another tank with Ephira in there. It could be
a couple hundred potential jellyfish. Right now they're just little, look like umbrellas floating around in the air. At best a 1/4 inch in diameter. But there are 3 tanks here with probably a couple hundred each, so the potential revenue from selling them is significant if you can get them all to a saleable size, and that's kind of our goal.
And you know, it just goes to show that with some determination and effort, second chances do occur. So always keep moving forward.